it's been over 1 month since we have been locked up in our homes, right? So it's really, now we are all thinking, how long should this go on? Would we be here for another 5 to 6 months? When will this come to an end? When can we go and breathe that fresh air and enjoy ourselves like what it was before? All these questions must be really troubling us, right? But the fact is that time has just flown by, hasn't it? I mean, 1 month has passed by and we didn't even come to know about it. The fact is, it might just extend for maybe another month or two. So how should we utilize our time effectively, such that once this crisis abates and we enter seemingly a new world, we are able to carve a niche for ourselves and able to make our impact felt? That's exactly what we are going to be discussing in this video today. So, as a precursor, as a disclaimer, let me say, I am not here to provide you a timetable. That ये बेटा तू इतने बजे सुबह को उठ, तू इतने बजे सो, ये इतने बजे खा, ये खा, वो खा. I am not here to tell you all that. I am more concerned about what you do in the interim, about the activities that you perform. That is of utmost importance. So as you move about in your day-to-day activities, how you're able to add value to yourself so that later you'll be able to add value in someone else's life as well. So let's start off with the first and most important thing, which is a mission. Now, I happened to read this very interesting book written by the founder of General Electric. His name is Jack Welch, and he wrote this book titled Winning. And the very first chapter, the very first theme is called Underneath It All. And in that, the first chapter is about that every company must have a mission for itself. That is, what does the company want to achieve? And alongside, it needs to have certain values. But an overarching mission needs to be there to drive everyone towards achieving a certain goal. Now, you need to ask yourself, introspect, understand what your innate abilities are, understand what you have done thus far in your life, and then evolve a purpose for your life. Remember, you are here for a purpose. You are here to fulfill that purpose. Your dharma, your contribution in the global fund of humanity. You need to give a deposit. So remember, you need to evolve a purpose for yourself in this interim. It takes time. It's difficult. And it's something that is hugely personal as well. But I really urge you that this is the time you have, and you must evolve a solid purpose for yourself and something really specific. Not yet, I want to become a doctor, I want to become a lawyer. Get specific. What is it you want to achieve upon, embarking on a certain path, taking up a certain profession, taking up a certain course? What is it that you want to ultimately achieve? That is of utmost importance. So your mission, your goal, your purpose is going to be the driving force for all your activities in this quarantine as well. Now, alongside, you need to, of course, do other activities, be it reading books or writing stuff or watching some very, very interesting stuff that will help you in, reaching that goal of yours. You have to take one step at a time. But I consider something very important besides your goal and your mission. And this is called the essentials aspect. Now, if you watch a cricket match, in that you have, batsmen and bowlers are there. But what is it that unites all of them? Let's say a Virat Kohli, who is a batsman, and that's his ability and that's what he is supposed to do. He's supposed to score a lot of runs. But what is it that unites a Virat Kohli and say a Jasprit Bumrah? Both of them need to know and need to be masterful in the art of fielding. That is something that's of utmost importance. You can't be lax on the field but excellent with the ball, or lax on the field and kind of swashbuckling with the bat. You need to know how to have a wonderful mixture of the two. So it's very important that these essentials in your life are also taken care of. And what are these essentials? For most of them all is learning how to cook. learning how to wash, learning how to, wash your utensils, clean the house, perform household chores, help when not even being asked for. These are values that are very important, and so you need to imbibe them in the course of this interregnum. And I'm sure most of you would already be doing that, but this is again a clarion call to you all. Do help your family members in the household chores and do some work yourself as well, right? So that's very important. And another very important essential that we often undermine is about finances. Remember that we only do not need to learn how to earn money. That mission that I spoke about initially, that mission would definitely lend you money and income and all that. It would happen if you take concerted efforts. But you need to know how to invest the money in the right places. You need to learn about the stock market. In all of this, the research work, the understanding, there are enough and more YouTube channels, enough and more podcast channels available for you, on financial literacy on a variety of topics related to that. Watch them. Do not refrain from even binge watching that kind of content. So financial understanding and financial literacy is of extreme importance. Give it its due, right? So that's about it. And then you come to the third aspect, and I call these as the propellants. Now, in a cricket match as well, is a batsman's or a bowler's performance restricted to what happens on the field? There is a lot that's happening off as well. Maybe the training, the diet, their own relationships. All these things define a player's performance on the field. Likewise, what are going to be your propellants as you move forward towards your purpose? Firstly, reading. That's something that is so ubiquitous today. There is so much information available online. You'll say, oh, I'm a super reader. I read so many messages on WhatsApp. I read so much of Twitter. I'm spending literally all day reading messages, answering them. So I'm a wonderful writer. I'm a wonderful reader. You might consider yourself to be, a real good reader. But the fact is, you need to know and how to distinguish between something literature that is really adding value to you and literature that is really of no use. So at the same point of time, as you read any book, let us say you read an ebook, because that is the norm today, is you cannot purchase anything from Amazon. But if you read an ebook or you read a paperback, whatever you learn from that, make a note of it. And I'm sure it would help you somewhere in life. Even a Twitter message, if it's something that you feel will add value to you, please make a note of it. And I'm making this very clear. Today, reading is not restricted to hardbound books. It has gone beyond it. It has transcended that. There is so much content available besides that as well. And so we need to gel with this novelty. So do go ahead, go through Twitter as well, and if something of value and something that's going to add value to you, something that's helpful, something that's positive, make a note of it. And I'm sure it would help you as well, right? So that's also important. The second thing that really, engulfs all of us is visual content. How to choose what to watch. We all love watching. I know that. We can spend all day long watching anything on Netflix or anything on Prime. But we need to know and distinguish between what is good and what is bad. Very difficult task, right? There as well. Sometimes you want to watch something for the sake of it and entertainment. That's fine. Say, I would leave it to your wisdom, but once in a week, if you watch something just for entertainment. But besides that, there is a lot of content today that's being created that's really, really, has some core values attached to it. So I'll give you an example. I watched this series very recently. It's a web series called The Test, and I have a very deep interest in cricket. So I saw this series and was really fascinated with that 8-episode series, literally 1 hour of each episode, but each and every episode brought out a certain value. For instance, about the cohesion in a team, how that is fostered, how national identity is reiterated. All these things were, kind of enmeshed within that series. So that's a great learning from me, even after watching 8 hours of, Amazon Prime. So that's again a great learning. So whatever you watch, make a note of what you learn from them. Another very important thing. And then finally, exercise. And this is of profound importance. Why? because in the daily hustle bustle, we often tend to compromise on maintaining our body, our health, and that's also in today's times. We know that for encountering and for kind of moving past this crisis, we need to have good immunity. So for that, I think the biggest assistance that would be provided is from yoga. And it's an account from someone who's actually experienced the changes that can be brought about through yoga. So yoga is going to bring together a lot of things, be it physical exercise, be it mental exercise, be it pranayama, everything can be incorporated within it. And especially, be it breathing, be it something called as Brahmari, this is very helpful. So if you keep your fingers and your ears closed, and just hum and buzz, that's for about 10 counts, that's of real great help. So do that as well, and I'm sure you would be able to live a balanced life henceforth, right? So I hope this video was helpful. Now, after watching this video, I would advise you all to enlist all those tasks that you feel are important, and above all, what is that one mission that's going to be driving you forward. So hope to see you all soon. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was helpful. If you really found it helpful, genuinely, press the like button and do share it with your friends as well. And if you haven't yet done so, do subscribe to my channel. So I apologize for not being regular with my videos, in fact not putting videos out at all, but I was busy with a project of mine. So I would be coming out with videos regarding book reviews, recommendations, movie recommendations as well in the future, and of course the educational content that will prevail for sure. So I wish you all good health, take care, stay at home and enjoy this period, make the most of it. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.